If you started your agency because you were looking to build that lifestyle business that will give you the freedom of time and money, but now you find yourself more like stuck in a job that you created for yourself, then this video is for you because I'm going to walk you exactly through the 4 systems that you have to install in your agency in order to help you transition from stuck in a job where you're trading your time for money to actually owning a scalable business. My name is Juan Guerra, and a couple of years ago, I started a video business. My vision was basically to build a business that would allow me to earn enough income to make a living and make an impact. So basically earning more while working less. And this is a common thing that I see in a lot of my clients and a lot of my agency friends. Now, basically that vision was something like this. I would own the business and a lead will come in with a problem. Now that lead, basically we will see if there is a fit, we will put together a 5-minute proposal and then collect payment, and my team would deliver the project. Well, I would focus more on a managerial, operational role. I would go out there, speak at events, and get more clients into the system. Now, the reality is that 3 years in, it looked more like this. A lead would come in with a problem. I would brainstorm, spend a lot of time brainstorming a solution, then all that brainstorming into a proposal that takes hours. We do a lot of research just to make sure that what we're doing actually makes sense and we're able to deliver results. We work with expensive freelancers that eat away any little profit that we have after negotiating with clients. Then they get creative and we have scope creep. Then finally we deliver the project, and now it's time to chase clients. But more importantly, it's time to get started all over again when the new project comes in. In this video, what I want to share with you, it's a little bit of an overview on how I was able to install 4 systems in my business that allow me to go from being stuck in that model to actually spending just about 2 hours a week in fulfillment while my team went ahead and deliver projects without sacrificing any of the quality. Now, if you want to know more, you can check the description before. I have a full-length training where I go in depth in everything that I'm going to be talking in this video. But I just want to give you an overview of the concept of what I call the systemized agency model. Now, all this is coming from my own experience in Vienna back in 2016 as I started a video production business with a couple of friends. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but about 3 years later, I was able to build a team. I was able to deliver projects. We're closing 30, 40K months, while actually I dropped my time to 2 hours a week in client fulfillment, allowing me to really build the lifestyle business that I had envisioned, giving me the time and the money to be with my family while actually impacting the lives of my team and making sure that clients had an amazing experience and rewarding services. And to prove that, even though I wasn't there, the systems that I had built allow for clients to still get quality. Here we have one of the clients that offered to invest in the business after working with us. We have others from multinational companies that just praise how simple it was the system for them to integrate us into their processes, as well as other clients that keep working with us and recommending us. Now, so basically, how do we go from this classic agency model where we come in, we brainstorm, we use our intellectual capacity to sort of come up with a solution, into a business that doesn't depend on you to fulfill clients, but actually it's able to delight customers just like you would without depending on you? Well, the biggest thing here is that in order to build what I'm calling here, what people call a lifestyle business, you have to solve 4 key problems that are the ones that are keeping you stuck here on the left side. I try to get out of this classic agency model. I look into selling courses, I look into selling coaching, I look into pricing really high so that we can get the big clients and we have enough cash so that I could invest in building a team. I try all those different models. I even went into coaching in order to productize our service, only to end up trying to be a coach. The reality is that people who buy agency services are people who have money but don't have time, and they want to solve that problem by hiring an expert that knows what they're doing and can actually help them. They don't want people to come in to experiment with their business, trying to come up with new solutions and so on. And that's part of the challenge that I see about many agency owners that are so connected with the creative process and in search of that intellectual stimulation, that what happens is that they end up getting stuck owning a job rather than actually a business. We need to understand that the clients do not get value until they start seeing results, the moment that we deliver the project. And so it makes no sense for us to try to show them, giving them value on the strategy, on how much reflection we go, how long it takes. They want stuff fast with little effort in the fastest amount of time with the most guaranteed results, low risk. Yeah. If you want to know more about that, you can always look Alex Hermosi's equation, value equation, where he goes very deep into that. But basically, that is all that clients want. And so when we think of that, and we think into, okay, what I want to achieve, well, if it is a lifestyle business and I am somewhere in my agency, somewhere around the 7, 8 to 12K a month, well, there are 4 systems that we can install. Keep in mind that if you're just getting started, if you have less than 3 years in business, it's going to be really hard to make this transition and install these systems. And the biggest reason why is because in order for this to work, you need to have enough word of mouth for you to start getting leads. Normally, that happens somewhere around the 3 years mark, where you have worked with enough people, 20, 30 projects already, and people start recommending you, and now you have reached capacity where you cannot really handle more than 2 to 3 clients at the time. And that's why you need to stop selling whenever you reach capacity, and you're in that constant process between feast and famine, meaning you have enough projects, now you have money, then you haven't sold because you were fulfilling those projects, and now you're struggling with cash flow again. What we need to do in that case is really increase our capacity by removing ourselves from delivery, and then move on for us to sort of focusing on generating leads, and more importantly, building the system, becoming the business owner that is developing the asset, which is the business. And this is what we call the systemized agency model. So what is problem number 1? Problem number 1 is this. We are trying to sell to everybody. And if you're already somewhere around the 8K mark, you already found a niche. You already have decided to specialize. Now, because you chose a niche, that doesn't mean that you still don't sell to everybody. The reason why I say this is because as long as the problem that you solve for every client changes from project to project, every new deal that you have is going to start from scratch. Every time you solve a different problem and every time you deliver new results, you're going to create a lot of complexity because you're basically developing a whole new solution. And so as long as we have that going on, we're going to be stuck. We're going to be limited in capacity. We're going to be limited in our sales because we don't know what to market to. We don't understand the point in the client's journey where we need to be talking to, because it keeps changing. The person that has one problem is different from the problem that somebody else has. And so that is problem number 1, why we are stuck. Once we solve that, then you're going to be able to grow that business. Because we keep selling something different to everybody, therefore our positioning is generic. We are the one-stop shop. We're a full place to solve all your marketing needs or all your video needs. Like, that is generic. That no longer becomes an advantage in today's world. Clients, they don't want people to figure out what to do with their money. They want results. That's why bigger clients with budgets, they know, they see who's the expert and they go with them, because it's cheaper to work with somebody that solves the problem once and fast than work with somebody that would have a great job. And so what's happening here is that we have generic positioning. When we solve all your marketing needs, when we do all your video needs, when we focus just on a niche, but we solve everything within video in that niche, it's still the pizza, pasta, burger. Even if you feel that, no, we only do Italian food, for example, to use the case of a restaurant, you still cannot compete with somebody who's going to specialize in pasta carbonara. Because when they obsess about one dish, about one service, about one problem, they're going to uncover levels of expertise that the person that is solving many things cannot see. And so because of that, we have generic positioning and we have poor differentiation. Basically, they cannot see what's the difference between working with you and working with somebody else. And that's why they decide to go with the lowest price, because at the end, it's just video, it's all the same. Especially if, in this case, if we are adapting our services to fit the client's needs and budgets, basically what we're doing is selling our time and expertise to make the vision of our client a reality. And that's why we're not positioning ourselves as an expert. We cannot command higher prices. We keep actually sabotaging ourselves. We think that we can get more customers that way, but we're actually sabotaging ourselves. The next problem that we need to solve is that delivery is inconsistent. It's inconsistent because every project just starts from scratch rather than to build on the last. So we're not clear on what is the most efficient way to deliver a service. And therefore, we are not delivering the best results possible that we could if we just do the same thing over and over and over, or compared to somebody that is just doing one thing. And lastly, we're unclear on the roles that need to be happening, on the skills that we need, and therefore it's really hard to delegate to somebody and train them. Rather, this is why we feel like on-the-job training, just see what I do, try to start taking over some of the things that I'm doing as you see that you can do them too. And this is the problem why we stay stuck. This is why we stay, depending on how deep these problems are, you're going to be somewhere between the 3 to 5K, 5 to 8, or 8 to 12. 8 to 12, you already have an idea of who your target customer is. You already have niche down. You already have some packages, but they still adapt into every customer, and therefore everything else is not as clear. Once you solve this by putting together a one solution system, a one sales system, a one delivery system, and one training system, your business will simplify, and finally you'll be able to scale. Scaling is not about selling more things at the same time. It's actually about doing one thing at a larger volume, selling one thing at a larger volume, but then being the best at it, being premium, being world class. And so if you want to solve this, basically what you need to install is 4 key mechanisms. In terms of a solution, going from packages or selling your time or trying to charge in project base, what we need to do here is basically what we call a productized signature offer. And this productized signature offer is it's basically a service that is taking concepts of a product, meaning it is fixing scope, fixing price, and paid in advance like a product, but it is designed to help our ideal customer actually solve that problem that they have. And the beauty of this is that it's premium, it is priced in advance, and so it becomes really clear, and it's more about seeing then as we move on to sales to see if that client will actually fit. The goal here is that through our expert positioning formula is that clients get to see you as the ideal solution, but more importantly, as the mentor that they're looking for to help them with their problem. right now, as people go out there in terms of AI and all these different solutions, is that clients are self-educating themselves. But at the end of the day, they need help pulling the trigger. They need help buying and implementing the solution. In a done-for-you service, in an agency business, clients don't want to do the stuff themselves. They want somebody else to do the job for them. And so they're looking for that expert. But if you're not taking ownership over the sales process, you're going to end up implementing on their vision. And that means that every client will have a different vision and things just start from scratch each time. And so if you want to sell bigger clients, you need to make sure that your sales process is designed to position you as the mentor that they're looking for. Then we move on to delivery, and here's where we have the customer delight system. Basically, what that means is that customers are looking for a replicable experience as they go through your delivery process. What they want is to be amazed, and they want to have a rewarding journey as they work with you. That is the thing that keeps them coming back. Once they're happy, they have great results, but it also was delivering a great experience that is the same each time. The reason why we keep going to McDonald's is not so much about the burger, but it's because we know exactly what to expect each time. And if you want to scale, if you want to have that peace of mind where you have those 30 clients that are buying from you twice a year, well, you have to make sure that you're able to fulfill those clients without you being present, and it is a rewarding experience. And that's where we have the customer delight system. And lastly, we want to make sure that we have a training system that it's able to teach all these things that we have developed, all these systems, to people with the right mindset. And who are people with the right mindset? Not experienced, expensive experts. Those experts are going to come in with their own processes, and they're going to change the way that you do things. Who you want is actually people who are motivated, who are learning, who are in the beginning of their journey, and then teach them your processes and systems so that they can actually follow, shine, and improve them, allowing you to have people who are going to outperform everybody else, but also are going to be able to expand your profit margins, making the business healthier, allowing you to help more people and reinvest in the services that you deliver to clients. If you want to go more into detail, we have put together a training in the description below. Just follow the link there and you go and see the full training. Now, one thing that I love about all this is that this is basically built on 5 key principles, which are simplicity, one signature service that we sell over and over, that is world class, it is premium, so that clients know that whenever they buy it, their problem is going to be gone. It is with purpose and not necessarily being affordable and helping everybody. On the contrary, is being a place where our employees come in and are able to grow personally and professionally as they improve their skills and improve those around them as well. It is designed for profit. That is the whole point why we started the business, and why the business should exist is to be profitable. And lastly, to give us the freedom of time and money that we always envision. And so if you like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions about these systems. If you're looking to transition from owning a job, if you feel stuck in your agency and you want to transition and finally turn it into a lifestyle business that you were looking for, go ahead and click in the link below to watch that full training. My name is Juan Guerra. I'm the founder of Scale Yard, and thank you so much for watching this video. Cheers.